we've decided to check out some flooring options. Now, I've got a bit of an issue in the saloon. The head height is a concern for me because I'm 6'2", and I invariably have to duck a little bit as I enter the second part of the saloon. Janet and everybody else doesn't seem to have a problem with it, but my brother and I certainly do. So we've decided to use a laminate vinyl flooring in the saloon, potentially also down in the cabins. Now we want something that's waterproof, obviously, and basically self-adhesive. So we've come across a couple of options, and we've just spent a few hours in the local box store trying to work out what's available. We're not putting teak down, we're trying to keep it nice and light, and this stuff is super light. So this is Janet's choice. What's it called? Ballerina.
Thank you. I looked at that many different ones, and under an electric flare I like anyway. It's too hard to tell. We'll give it a go. We'll try.
I don't think I could get my leg up on there to be a ballerina, so this is about as good as you're going to get. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. It may not be any good. It's only 2 millimeters thick, so it's sort of an ideal thickness, but there's a number of issues we have to contend with, and that is to blend it with the existing flooring we have. And obviously we're going to sort of brickwork it. And we've been able to take this back if we don't want it, and there's a chance we don't want it, but I do actually think it looks pretty good. Should be fun templating that.
I'm sure you'll be doing a good job of it.
I actually think it looks really good. Not that far off the colour of the Tassie oak, to be honest.
I don't want it to be the same, I just don't
No,
want it
it's
to
not
clash.
that far off it though, it won't clash. Look at it.
I just didn't know if this was more pink than this.
We spent an hour in Bunnings yesterday, or in the hardware store, the box store, looking at flooring, and Janet was trying to match the colour, and I think you've almost done it. You know, it's not the same as this, but it's almost the same as our trim, which is perfect. So.
That's good, I've got some contrast.
And the one thing I was worried about, there's a lip on the stair mould here of gel coat, and it's sort of like a tread stop. I was worried about the thickness of it, but it's going to leave us about 2 millimeters of rise, which is good. It'll actually stop you falling over. Hopefully you won't trip, but we've never tripped since we've been in the boat. But that'll butt up against that, and we'll also use it down inside the cabins. But even the colours against the door trims, and not so much the Laminex, but
it doesn't have to be exact. It just has to it just has to work.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think, and against the white, it looks really, really nice. It'll break up all of this white we have here. I've still got to do some finishing on here, and we may even consider a black edge all the way around. I'm not sure about
well,
that.
I mean, if we did it in here, it'll blend with the bottom of the table, but we don't have to.
And we haven't even got full natural light in here yet because we've still got the paper on the windows. So once we take them off, it's going to be super bright. So the yellow of this will really come out. More of a beachy look, I guess. That looks unreal. Against the cabinets, I think it looks fantastic.
The last 4 episodes have been constructing our helm station hardtop. Now Janet and I have actually made this thing bespoke out of a sheet of 10mm foam, and there was a comment a couple of weeks ago about how come I don't provide a complete video of start to finish of any one product. Well, that's just not how this sort of project works. I tend to work over a few months, but here is the final install of the hardtop, and we are so happy with it.
Well, you know you come this way. Yeah, that's not big enough. It's not really. And then I get up on the top. Just sit down there. Down there, you got it? Yep. Want me to go? Right. Marcus, if you can grab hold of something down there and lift it up, and Al's going to just remove it up on the...
Al's gone up.
Right, Al, can you get...
Alright, so you don't want it to rub on this.
Preferably not.
So that's good. So pushing out and up.
Yeah, oh, perfect, mate, perfect. We're there!
Good. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, all good, good.
Keep coming.
You right, Al?
My hands on the mat.
Oh,
Give it another 4 inches. Foot.
Yeah.
Foot.
That ledger's sitting there.
Perfect.
Thank you, mate.
Easy.
Legend. I wasn't worried about that.
Handy to be tall.
Get back to work. Yeah.
Thanks,
Good,
guys.
tall big bloke. Thanks, mate.
Been telling him how I'm not big enough to do it.
Yeah. You're only sort of sitting back on it, but it'll sit. Might slide down here. Just keep sliding on the card.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to do the front bit?
Yeah.
Do you need that box? Are you out with the boxes there? This is when we find out if the roof is strong enough, I guess.
The roof's strong.
Just sit there for a sec. Just sit there for a sec.
Why is there a rudder on the roof?
Oh, funny spot for a rudder.
I know. I'm just wondering, there's no logic to that at all.
No. Righto, well, it's got to go over. I'll keep going. Keep telling me. Yeah, it's touching the rail.
Keep going over to your... Is it touching the roof, is it?
Yeah, that frame. It can go half an inch if you move the power cord.
Come back to me, just a touch.
Yeah. It feels a bit forward, is it?
Yeah, come back a bit.
1, 2.
That's where it's got to sit. Was so good to get that hardtop fitted today. I got Marcus from across the road. Now, neighbour came around and he was here, so I'm going to use him. And this is actually a perfect fit. This is looking so good. I am so happy with it. And you know, having done all the conduiting and the wire pulls already, all I have to do is basically wire it and we're in business. And I'm just delighted with that result. It's consistent with the rest of the hardtop. The only difference is that I've got smooth here on the light chasers, but I may even texture them just to get it consistent with the top up there. But yeah, wrapped, absolutely wrapped. So we'll take a look how it looks from the helm position. And just take a seat here. Oh, I'm gonna have a rest. Basically, you got a full view of the sails up there and a complete solar panel on here. I could even put, you know, 2 solar panels, put 2 soft ones, or maybe 1 400 watt Maxion or something on the top here, and that'll give me a sort of a third region. But you know, the view from the actual helm, if you look here, I've got the 12-inch plotter here, wind meter autopilot, and not sure what the other one is, I can't really remember. And anchor windlass switch here as well, and then the view out over the front is complete, and it's basically panoramic. So I've got full view from a raised helm, and that was what I was always after. I always wanted a raised helm, and I hear a lot of people buying boats now with lowered helms, and although you do get more pitching from this position, I just still believe that I've got a far superior position here with which to steer the boat. It is going to have clears in it eventually. I'm not going to rush to do that. I really don't need them immediately. But what's great about this helm position is I can see the back corner, and the bow and the bow. I have full vision, and all I have to do is step over to the side here, and I've got full position to the stern here. So when I'm docking, I have really good control of the boat as we come into dock. Actually, it won't be me, it'll probably be Janet, because she's the one that's steering the thing all the time, and she's doing all the training. I'm the one that's going to need a serious fast learning curve, because I haven't been driving a boat like this for a couple of years, and I know it's like riding a bike, but still, I still want to get into it and get amongst it. And what a brilliant addition to what I consider to be an already pretty cool boat. I've been working away on the bow here, and because I don't have a big aluminium forebeam, I've got a solid bridge deck, and I've got around about 23 centimeters of thickness between the top of the deck and the bottom of the hull. So I've been trying to work out how I was going to do our forestay chain plate, and I've come up with basically a design, and I've sent the template off to have it CNC cut to cut the actual tang for the forestay, for the furler mount that's going to basically the toggle and the furler mount that's going to actually engage into the forestay and create our support for the mast. Clearly, the problem is I don't have an easy mounting point, because I've got an anchor roller that's sitting right in the center line of the boat. So I've decided to, as I said, to offset that slightly, and I'm going to use the second hole here to mount the chain plate through the center of it, and that's a 20mm stainless rod. So I've purchased a threaded 316 stainless rod, and this is going to form the basis of our forestay. This will go through the deck, through the hull, and then have a base plate on the bottom with a nut and a locking nut and a pin through this to stop this ever untangling. And on the top of it will be a tang that looks a bit like this in the picture, and that'll actually be welded to the top of this with an 18mm hole in it, and then the toggle of the forestay of the furler will actually engage into that and obviously provide tension on the mast, and obviously that's the basis of it. But what I have to do though is I have to drill a 20mm hole all the way through the deck, through the central bulkhead, which is 20mm foam luckily, and then through the hull at the bottom. Now I've only got a 250mm long drill bit, and I'm hoping it's going to be just long enough, but at least I can get it started with this big drill bit and get that hole drilled in exactly the right spot, and then I can hole out the actual anchor roller as well so that this rod can fit through it, and then I can weld the tang onto it, feed it through, put a base plate on the bottom of it and lock it up underneath the deck, and that should be enough. Engage with the Seagull striker and its bridle system with the tangs on each side. That will provide a downward force on the deck as the forestay is providing an upward force on the deck and the hull. So hopefully that all is going to work out. But anyway, I'm going to drill a hole and we'll see how we go. Righto, with my chain plates, John Hodges up in Sydney is actually making them for me. I'm trying to determine the centre line of the boat, and it's a little bit confusing because it's obviously a handmade mould, but I've actually determined that this pretty much here along this line is a centre line, and this anchor roller has to be slightly off centre. What I do need to do is have my chain plate drilled here somewhere. Our chain plate, or the main tang that's going to take the forestay, is going to pull down on this actual anchor roller as a base plate, and the chain will run past it. So it's a little bit complicated, and I have to drill about a 30cm hole straight down into the hull. So I'll be drilling straight down there, and it'll come up under here, and around about here will be a large base plate which will actually take the load of the forestay. So not only will it be secured here at the top of the anchor roller, but also under here, so there's plenty of directional force, I guess, or tension being held down here, and then the Seagull striker will tension the deck down. So I'm actually transferring the load down to this point and onto the forestay, and letting the boat carry the load rather than just that particular chain plate. But we'll get this one made up. I've got to drill a 20mm hole in here to facilitate the rod that I'm going to have down through there. So as is always the way, I've come up short, typical bloke, come up short about 5 centimetres, I think, at the most. So what I'll do is I'll chop the head off this coach bolt, weld this to it, and hopefully do that straight, and then I should be able to just breach the hull, because I've only got about this much to get through, and I'm through, and that chain plate design is going to come to fruition, so pretty happy about that. So I'll just get this cut off, weld it up, and we'll see how that goes. To say I'm excited is an understatement. That I could have driven into town and spent $80 on a long drill bit, or probably even more. That's a simple fix, pretty ugly. But what I'll do is I'll get in and drill this all the way through now, and then I can at least position it, and then I've got to blow a hole. We'll drill a 20mm hole through that, and I'm likely to do that with my plasma cutter. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. It's a bit of a wild burst, but anyway, here we go. What do you reckon?
He's very excited. He's very excited that he did it right. And guess what? It goes right through the middle of the bulkhead. So it's dead centre.
Did I say it went?
Told you once, twice, 50 times. It'll tell you.
Did I say it went through the centre of the bulkhead?
You just can't, and you just can't not say it when I'm speaking.
Unbelievable. When I put that bulkhead there, did I not know that that was going to go straight through that 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, I put that bulkhead in, and I knew I planned it. You've got to give me credit.
I know, but how much speed? And you took the camera back.
Can I have some credit?
You've got. I just gave you some credit, but you took the camera back off me. So.
I'm not happy. Not getting credit for the dodgy fix. The dodgy drill bit. That was a winner. And that, my friends, is a winner. To have that through there. And even better, to have it here, which means there'll be a base plate here. Quite a big one, probably, I don't know, 10 centimetres square. Might even fold it up in there. That'll put all the pressure up into there, so that is just superb. It's been a monumental day. I've been up on the bow here. I decided to dedicate today to getting a few things done up here, and that included getting the anchor in position, the chain plate all sorted, the access to the anchor roller up underneath done as well. Get the anchor in place just to see what I'm dealing with, and obviously have a bit of a look at how my chain plate tangs are going to work out, and also the roller for our mooring line, and then I've also got the hawse pipe there for the chain. All good and done. Now there's something that I've actually been putting off for a very, very long time, and that is there's an excess flange on all the forward hatches. All these storage lockers in the front here are all wet lockers. I would really love to have some sort of a drain in them so that rain will just run away, and I can handle if water gets in them, because obviously that's just part and parcel of these lockers, and wet lockers are just part and parcel of any boat up on the bow, particularly on a forward bridge deck like this. But these hatches, all of them have this excess flange, which is this guy here, and they have no drain. So I need to install some sort of a drain, but the first thing I need to do is cut off this excess flange here, which is actually part of the original moulding. So I've been grinding them off, and I've now done all of the other ones, and I've just got this last one to do. Basically grind that off, sand it, get it all smooth. It's going to improve access into that hatch in any way, particularly because Janet's got to get in here in the next couple of days and do some glassing up underneath there. But I've already done the windlass and these 5 all the way along here, and as you can see here on the forward one here, there's no flange left on here, and it's actually increased the access into that hatch. I don't love these lockers. I think these bloody hatches are just going to be a pain in the backside, and I'm almost inclined to seal up the one on the port side. This one here I can't seal because I'm going to have a washing machine hanging right there underneath, and I won't have access into that actual locker from inside the boat. But on this side here, there is the potential for me to glass and glue that one in entirely, so that I have access into it from the forward wardrobe, and that would be really nice. If I can get access into this from inside the boat, it will sort of save me tons and tons of effort, and then I won't have any access to water inside this hatch as well. So that's what I'm working on, but for now I'm just going to trim this off, and I'll deal with that at a later date. I don't want to have to drain this hatch somewhere. I thought about putting a scupper in the bottom of it to let it drain out. I really feel with these 2 forward hatches there is a lot of potential for water to flush into it, particularly as the boat's riding into an oncoming sea, and water's getting jetted up inside to these hatches and through the drain holes, because I can't put a drain in the bottom of it because it's a crash bulkhead. So got to be very, very careful how I deal with this. But as I said, I'm very inclined to seal that hatch up entirely, leave it as a crash bulkhead for now, and put in an internal hatch inside the forward robe so I can access the boat or access all that storage from inside the boat, and then we're dry and we're comfortable, and there's no chance of it ever being a problem, and it will also act as a further crash bulkhead on the front of the boat.